Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final week of Season 9 here in the 712Breaks Cup Series in CTC and SRL. Welcome tonight to Homestead Miami Speedway in the virtual world, and we are ready to decide our champion tonight. Point standings up on the board on the top right after last week's race. Going into tonight's race, Aiden Lowell with the points lead. Garrett Wolfenbarger shortly behind. That's a matter of 5 or 6 positions difference in the race tonight. So first and second, relatively close. Third place, a little bit farther out of it, but Bradley's still well within reach of taking that championship here tonight. Just needs a little bit to go his way. And fourth and fifth, still going to be battling for a podium spot in the championship. Results, still top 3 payout in points. So still a lot of fight there for second and third, even if they can't get to the championship. But it's going to be a good race here tonight at Homestead. Last time the Cup Series went to Homestead, we had 1 caution. So, looking at another green flag race last night in the Arc Music Xfinity race in the championship, we had 1 caution as well in 130 laps. So, very similar to tonight's race in terms of length. We'll see if we can have that green flag racing like we did last night as well. Qualifying about to get underway. Looks like Ronnie Holmes going to be our first one off of pit road. He's going to want to get that lap in quick, apparently. Tonight we have 25 cars in attendance. That 26 cars actually Andrew Beach filling in as race control tonight, so thank you to Andrew for that. Almost 3,000 strength of field for tonight's race. Homestead, Miami, like I said, in Florida. Just under 1.5 miles in length. Weather for tonight's race, 82 degrees ambient temperature, 85-degree track temperature. Partly cloudy with basically no wind. That's what we're looking at in terms of weather. Now the question is whether or not those guys fighting for points will be able to get that pole position here. We'll have some time start coming in right here. Top of the board goes Garrett Warren, the 04. Now Patrick O'Keefe, ahead of him, first car into the 32-second bracket. Patrick has had a rough go of it here in this chase, but had a good week last week. Was able to jump up to 8th in points, and he's still somewhat in reach of a 3rd place. I think he'd need, again, a lot to go his way, but I don't think it's impossible technically. Ronnie Holmes, top of the board at 57, 32.65. Really good lap there for the 57 team. So you got Bradley Wilson heading out to make his first lap. You have 2 laps of qualifying tonight. Casey Graves, second on the board, 32.71. Aiden Lowell, leader in points. He's heading out on the racetrack. Brian Martin, home track for Brian tonight, but he is feeling a little under the weather. Got some pain, so he's going to fight through the pain to race at his home racetrack in the final race here in first season of 2025. In that top lane, it seems to be the preferred lane, especially in turns 1 and 2. Saw that last night in the Xfinity cars as well. Bradley Wilson across the line to complete lap number 1. 32.99, so that's already going to put him up to 10th. Pretty good first lap there for Bradley. Right up on that outside wall. Oh, he might have got into it 1 and 2. We'll see if it gave him a contact or not. It might take the lap time away if he got into the wall too hard. Oh, got the apron in 3 and 4. This lap is not looking great. Off turn 4 for Bradley Wilson. 32.97, so It does count, but it's not too much better than his first lap. It's going to net him one more spot into 14th. Take a look at our points leader coming into tonight's race. Off turn 4 to complete his second lap. And it's going to be 32.55. Really good lap there for the 56. Took a while for it to come in, but there it is. Hayden Lowell to the pole position for now. He's got some more drivers on track. 42 seconds left in qualifying. Steve Giglio, he should have enough time to complete both laps. Gonna be close. That's gonna be very close. I don't know if he is gonna have enough time to finish that second lap. His first lap's 32.96. That's gonna put him up to 14th. Wyatt McCombs goes up to 20th, 33, 27. And no, those guys do not have enough time to finish their qualifying run. Unfortunate there. We'll head to our race now. We jump to the next day in sim. As Hayden Lowell takes home the pole position. We can get a word with him here. Hey, Hayden, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Lucas.
Hey, man. Well, you're starting on the pole position. You're leading in points coming into this race. How are we feeling right now?
I feel a lot better right now than I did about 25 minutes ago, kind of seeing where Garrett and Brad qualified. Kind of puts a little bit of those nerves at ease. Qualifying was the high stress point, just trying to make sure we get a good starting spot and put ourselves in a good position for this race. So I feel really good starting up front. That number 1 pit stall, just I know what I got to do tonight. Top 5. I'll lay over for people if I have to. Just top 5 is the goal. Feel really good about it right now.
Gotcha, man. Good luck. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end.
I certainly hope so. Thank you very much.
It's Hayden. Sounding pretty confident. See if that continues throughout the race. Alright, let's go through our grid for tonight's race. Starting on the pole, Hayden Lowell. Got a lot of poles this season and gets one again in the final race. We'll be starting up front in that 56 Napa Chevy. Starting on his outside, Ronnie Holmes in the 57. Good starting spot for Ronnie, front row. See if he can do good with it after. I think he will. We'll see. Casey Graves looking for a good points night as well. He's going to be starting third. Good starting spot for him. Patrick O'Keefe, another Triple J car, starting in 4th, so good starting spot for him. Dave Hoytsma starting in the top 5. Love to see it. That's my dad right there. Nolan Walker starting in 6th. Kenny Frisbee going to be starting in 7th. Christian Delgado starting 8th. Garrett Wolfenbarger starting 9th. He is chasing Hayden down in the points, so starting up here in the top 10, that's going to help him a lot. Run Hayden down, get those 5 spots he needs on Hayden. Brantley Bryant going to be starting in 10th. Brian Jackson starting in 11th. Quinn Newton starting in 12th. Thank you to our title sponsor of the Cup Series here, 712Breaks. Make sure to check them out on Whatnot. Daniel Llewellyn starting in 13th. Blake Giglio starting 14th. Bradley Wilson starting 15th. Ryan Feil starting 16th. Sorry, that was not Ryan. That was Garrett Warren, who is starting at 17th. Davis Greenwell starting in 18th in the Ride the Dente 20. Phil Mullins starting in 19th. Wyatt McCombs starting in 20th. Brian Martin starting in 21st. Jeremy Scherer starting in 22nd. Ian Montrose starting in 23rd. Brad Patton starting in 24th. Michael Christopher starting in 25th. And Nick Leo running out our 26-car field for tonight in 26th. Don't mind Andy there, that is our live race control. He just had to load in as a driver. He's not actually going to make laps, although I don't know. He might. We'll see. Anyway. We're going in about half a lap here. As the sun sets here in Miami. Should be a day to night race. The sun will definitely set over the course of this race here tonight. That track. Check out our weather one more time before we go green. 83 degrees on the ambient, 86 degrees on the track temp. So the track is going to come down a little bit as the sun sets. Not too much, maybe 3 or 4 degrees, but it will come down. Here we go. Group turns 3 and 4. Pace car pulls off. And we are racing for the final time in Season 9. Lap number 1 complete. Hayden Lowell going to lead that lap, so that'll net him 5 bonus points on the night. Already going to grow his points lead a little bit. There are your live points. See it? Wolf Parker starting in 8th. It's dropped him a lot in the points compared to Hayden. Casey Graves already with him starting. Oh, caution's out. Ian Montrose and Jeremy Scherer, an incident on the backstretch. So we have already matched our caution total for the last time we were at Homestead. Not a good sign. Back it up, see what happened. Oh, looks like the one just gets loose off turn 2. Back it up again. On board with the one of Ian Montrose. Yeah, car just steps out on him, and the 91, nowhere to go. It's collected. Right on board with the 91. Oof. So I'm thinking he might have seen the 7 get a little loose and reacted to it, and ended up getting loose himself. Either way, that is going to bring out the caution. Car is obviously going to come down pit road. Got some other guys topping off on fuel here in the back. Cliff Mullins, Daniel Wallen, Jeremy Scherer, Ian Montrose, Michael Christopher. I think Mike... Oh, Mike's coming back out. Mike is topping off on gas here. And Nick Leo coming down as well. Obviously, Hayden Lowell still in the lead. Looks like we got some overcast already. Alright, field goes back to double file. Get this race restarted. Hayden Lowell going to elect to choose the outside on this restart. Leader has lane choice. Yeah, you did have 2 Triple J cars starting the top 4. Fortunately, Ronnie does slip back to 5th, but I think starting on the outside here at Homestead is kind of a disadvantage because you get into turn 1 and the radius is so much tighter on the bottom. You're able to get that run, but you have to clear on the backstretch, otherwise you don't have a good shot because these guys are loud in my ear. I'm sorry. Doing a lot of yapping here. Alright, so like I said, 56, Hayden Lowell going to be in control of this restart. All 26 cars make their way to the front stretch through the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for the 56 of Hayden Lowell. Side by side for second, Patrick O'Keefe, Casey Graves, the 77 Nolan Walker got really loose off turn 2 right there. See, everybody spreading out, 3-4 lanes wide. 77 caught the wall on entry. Hayden gonna lead as we get back to green. 3 wide right here. Looks like 51, 97, and 2. Got the patriotic scheme on the week before Memorial Day. And we won't have a race on the Memorial Day week, so I like it. Patrick O'Keefe fights to the outside, and he's going to go to the lead with Nolan Walker in tow. Using that outside lane. Now he's going to go to the middle. Nolan ripping the outside. He's going to get to the outside of the 92. The outside lane is ripping in turns 1 and 2 right now. And Nolan Walker going to go to the lead on the backstretch. I think all these guys fighting hard, they want to lead the lap, and then they kind of sit back and save tire again. Get those extra 5 points for leading the lap. Casey Graves tapped the wall a little bit. I think there was some contact. Turn 2. Now he's going to use the outside to get around the 92. 56. Obviously saving tire, but he's absolutely bleeding positions right now. And I think he's going to have to start driving a little harder, make sure he maintains his position, because there's just a freight train on the outside going around him. You can see him and the 32. They're both just stuck to the bottom, saving tire. You can see that championship mindset right there. Now, I think the 32 is going to be able to top. I mean, he needs the track position. 56 just kind of got to ride in line here tonight and make sure the 32 stays behind him, or at least close to him. Here's your live points. Casey Graves up in 4th right now. He's running out of points he can achieve. Now he's got to hope the guys in front of him lose points. Nolan Walker ripping the outside again. I think he got the fence that time. Slowed him down. Kenny Frisbee goes to the lead. Sorry, Kenny, I didn't mention it when it happened, but Kenny Frisbee out front now. We saw him, got the pole position at Vegas earlier in the year, and he's pretty good at these intermediate tracks. Gonna lead on lap 11. O'Keefe 2nd, Graves 3rd. Walker 4th, and Wilson 5th. Field starts to spread out. As we continue, the tires heat up and tire wear really starts to matter. Homestead loves to chew up tires even in this next-gen car. Casey Graves got up to second, but he falls back to fourth. O'Keefe going to hold on to that fourth spot. Bradley Wilson still trying to look to his outside. O'Keefe going to come up to cover that outside lane. Is now Casey Graves right on the back bumper of Kenny Frisbee for that lead. Casey looks to the inside. Kenny tried to block. Just too much of a run from that outside. Now Casey to that preferred inside lane in 3 and 4. And he's not quite going to clear. Well, maybe he will. Kenny got a little tight. Never mind. Good run for the 18. Oh, blocking for third. Bradley Wilson blocked the 77. Off turn 4 right there. Thought somebody was about to wreck. Casey, good run on the bottom. Again, not going to be enough to clear. Might have to see a slide job pulled out here. On board, Bradley Wilson in third, watching this battle for the lead. Bradley looking a little squirrely. I think everybody's going through that right now. Kenny's still holding on to the lead. A little bit farther back, we got a lot of battling around the end of the top 5. Owen Walker still trying to fight for that third spot. Oh man, got a little tight there, ran up into the 51 into turn 1. Now that's going to allow the 7 of Brad Patton to get to the 51s outside. They're 3 off turn 2. 3 wide. And luckily that doesn't end in tragedy right there. Two chase drivers almost collecting each other. Kenny didn't even get to lead the first lap of Kansas when he got the pole. He's getting revenge on it on the field now. He's leading a lot of laps. Definitely got the most laps led at this very moment. Take a look at it. 6 laps led for that 18 so far, coming to 7th. I don't think Casey's going to get around him anytime soon. So he's about to take over that most laps led from Hayden. I mean, we're very early in this race, but still cool. Still a cool stat to bring up there. Bradley Wilson, Brad Patton battle for that third spot as Nolan Walker. Saw him battling with Bradley for third. Now he's all the way back at 9th, so lost a lot of spots right there. I think his tires are starting to go away from him. Those two chase drivers, the 56 and 32, we saw them running the bottom, saving tire. They're starting to make their way back up through the field. On board with Hayden. Oh man, that was, I could tell that was close from this camera. I thought the 32 was about to turn that 92. Car got a little squirrely, had to chase it up the racetrack, and I thought he was going to chase it right into that quarter panel of the 92, but Luckily, there was room to go up. Fighting for the lead, Brad Patton to the inside of Kenny Frisbee. The two wanted goons teammates right there. I want to say a big shout out right now to Casey Graves and True Speed for sponsoring this championship race. Also, big shout out once again to our title sponsor, 712Breaks, making this season happen. It's been a good one, I'd say. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. We got a good championship race going on at Homestead right now. We've been green for roughly 18 laps. See if we can keep going. Peyton Lowell battling with Brantley Bryant, and if anybody watched the championship race last season, or really any of last season, you know these two have a history. Hayden absolutely destroyed the two of Brantley Bryant at Bristol last season. Brantley wasn't too happy about that and got a little bit of revenge in the championship race at Nashville. Well, it's been kind of sour between them ever since. So much so, the two was even poking fun at wrecking him or messing with him again in tonight's race. Now, I hope he was just messing with him. I think he was, but that's the thing. You know, if you can get in somebody's head without even having to do something, I think that's what he was going for, trying to help his teammates get into it. Just mess with Hayden a little bit. Hayden's still running that 6th spot. Those tires not really coming in for him. But these guys, I mean, they got probably 25 laps left on this run, so a lot of time left for the tires to come in. I don't know when everybody's going to decide to come down pit road. It is a 2-stop race, and there is a little bit of wiggle room on when you can pit. You can short pit, you can late pit. That's going to be a big decision for these guys coming up. Late pit, you can get some positions on the short run, but you might give up more time later on in the race if you short pit now. Still battling for the lead. Looks like Brad Patton maybe going to clear the 18 off turn 2. Not yet. Still battling up front. 56, Hayden Lowell gets loose off turn 2. He's going to gather it back up. He's going to fall back to, looks like, 8th. These two will not. Brad Patton's ripping the bottom right now. Kenny's just stuck to that outside wall. And when you have that going, oh, Kenny's in the wall. Take a look at our points. Hayden, with him falling back to 8th, that's definitely closed the gap between him and the 32. Not by much. I mean, Hayden only 2 spots behind Garrett. Definitely not enough for Garrett to take over that lead. And finally, Kenny relinquishes the lead to Brad Patton. And with Brad leading this race, that's got him back up to 4th in the standings. So he's getting as many points as he can right now. Casey Graves in 3rd. Now those guys in 4th, and both those guys in 4th and 5th, we want to get into that top 3 and get a payout. They're both getting about as many points as they can right now. As the 2 of Bryant gets loose off turn 2 now. Virtually the same spot as the 56. He's going to fall back to... I don't think he lost the spot. I don't think he was in front of the 32. He could have been. I don't remember, honestly. Great work up here in the commentator's booth for me tonight. 56 going to get back into that 6th spot. Back around the 2-car Brantley Bryant. Now he's going to try the outside lane as the 2 gets in the wall behind him. That 2-car is definitely on not thin ice, on ice skates right now, and slipping and sliding. Trying to hold on to whatever tire he's got left. That looked like a pretty good corner. Got right up on that outside wall. Oh, the 77's loose. He's wrecking behind Nolan Walker gets loose off turn 2 and goes right up into the 92 of Patrick O'Keefe. Now watching the 77 blue Kroger car in the middle of your screen. Heading through 1 and 2, car steps out on him and just, I think, kind of chased the car up into the 92's nose. Right on board with him here. I'll take one more look on board with the 92. We got pit stops coming up, so we'll get back to live video here in a second. 92 might have been a little loose at the same time, I'm not sure. He came down the hill more than I'd expect. Not that it's his fault, obviously, but it definitely didn't help things. Alright, field coming down pit road. Brad Patton let him down. Hayden Lowell going to have that first pit box due to get in the pole position, so I think that's going to be a big advantage with that pit exit line being so close to the final box. And off pit road, Brad Patton is going to win the race off pit road, followed by Kenny Frisbee, Bradley Wilson, Garrett Wolfberger, and then Hayden Lowell. Casey Graves, not a great pit stop. He's going to fall back to 6th. So that True Speed pit crew, once again, not in help with things for him. And the 92, a meatball. That car is destroyed. Unfortunate way to end the season for that 92. Had such a strong regular season. Got in the chase, and things just did not work out for him in these last 5 races. Top 2 will be Wanted Goons. Brad Patton will be in control on that bottom lane. Kenny Frisbee on the outside. And second row, Shenandoah Shine, Bradley Wilson, Garrett Wolfberger, 3rd and 4th. And Hayden Lowell and Casey Graves in that 5th and 6th spot. So there's your front 3 rows. Blake Giglio started 14th. He's up to 7th now. Brantley Bryan, he's up 2 spots from where he started. Garrett Warren, he's up from 17th up to 8th, looks like. Sorry, that'd be 9th. And Ronnie Holmes, he started on the front row. He's back to 10th, but he's been slowly coming back up the field, I think. So I think that wreck took out a few more cars than we initially thought. 15 and 88. Looks like they are out of the race as well. The 13, Christian Delgado, he's got a destroyed front end. He is out. So that car, we didn't catch it after the wreck was over, but I think that collected quite a few cars. And it looks like we have accrued 4 DNFs just from that one wreck alone. Green flag back in the air. Brad Patton, a good restart. "95 laps to go." Kenny Frisbee, not a great corner right there. He's going to fall way back. Take a look at our points. Michael Christopher, he's actually got up to 10th in points now, running in that 11th spot. He's got a lot more points to get. Could get up there in the point standings by the end of tonight. But the eyes are on that top 3. Not separated by too much right now, but with Hayden sitting inside that top 5, that's all he needs to do. He informed me that a top 5 pretty much guarantees a championship here for him tonight. No matter where everybody else finishes, he just needs to stay inside the top 5. So right now, sitting in the 4th spot with a lap led. He's doing all he needs to do right now. That's why you're not going to see him fighting too hard once he's inside this top 5. He's just going to kind of sit here, ride the bottom, make sure he's at least close to that 32. And the big thing is he needs to make sure he doesn't get involved in any accidents tonight. And obviously, I mean, that goes for the entire top 3, but him especially because he's protecting a points lead. He does not need to be on offense tonight. Now, somebody who had a strong season, Blake Giglio, he did miss last week at Kansas, unfortunately, so he got knocked out of championship contention, but still out here tonight. Still obviously wants to get that race win, and he looks like he's got a lot of speed in the early going. The inside of the 32, not quite there yet, as it's the 2 Brads, 1 and 2. Brad Patton in 1st, Bradley Wilson in 2nd. Brad Patton pulling away. He's got 7/10 over the 51 right now. Yeah, looks like in total that wreck is going to cost us 5 DNFs. 5 different race cars are out of this one, or at least on pit road fixing damage. We're down to 21 cars already in this race. Brad Patton out to almost a 2nd now over the 51, so he's definitely using those tires early to get away from the rest of the field. Meanwhile, everybody else just riding the bottom, saving tire. Kenny Frisbee, Hayden Lowell side by side for 5th. Kenny ripping that outside lane again, where he's been strong all night. And I think that's why we saw him fall back so far in that restart. He tried to use the top on a restart, and that's just, when you're at such low speeds, top lane isn't going to work too well. He's back inside the top 5. Ronnie Holmes back up to 7th. Now he looks to the outside of the 56. As Hayden starts to creep backward, you see the gap between him and Wolfenbarger gonna close a little bit every single time he loses a spot. Now Hayden back to 7th. He's 27-point gap between him and Garrett. As we, I think, have a one-stop race to the end, although it's going to be really tight on fuel for these guys. I'm not sure what their exact fuel numbers are, but we went green with roughly, I think, 97, 96 laps to go. And that's going to put them right on the edge. I think you're seeing a lot of guys sit back and fuel save right now. So it's going to be two, if we go green at the end, it's going to be 2 very long runs to the end of this race, which means tire saving is going to be big. Guys did have 4 extra sets of tires tonight, on top of the ones they started on, so 5 total. Most cars have used 1 so far. I don't think anybody else took a set on that lap 5 caution. So I think most people working with 3 sets still in the pits. Lowell now back to 8. Still riding the bottom saving tire. You can see a lot of cars still ripping the outside fence. And with how long these guys are going to have to go on these tires, ripping the outside right now is really going to hurt your long run. It shouldn't. I want to make sure everybody knows that iRacing, their tire wear model is broken. You run the outside, the sim, all it sees is you're running a higher speed and there's more G-forces. So it immediately thinks you're going to burn more tire up there. They fail to take into account the fact that your wheel's not turning as much, and things like there's more air to cool the tires and all that. So, real life, you don't burn your tires running the outside, but here in iRacing you do. And that's why you see everybody who's trying to tire save right now, they're running right on the bottom as low as they can get. That's pretty much your entire top 5. Running the bottom. Not sure what the 7 is doing, but he has pulled out to a 2.2 second lead over the field. And I think that, honestly, that might be the better strategy. So he's running kind of the middle right here. He's running up on that first seam. And I've done this before myself with this track. You just want to pull way out, get out of everybody else's draft, make sure they can't use the draft to stay with you, and then run as fast as you can. Run lap times and pull out to as big of a gap as you can get. Now, they're not even halfway through this run yet, with how long I think they're going to have to go. Now, maybe the 7's thinking he splits this 2 stops. I don't think that would work out for him, but maybe he is. We'll see how bad the tire fall off is. He's still pulling away from the rest of the field, and very quickly. You see second and third side by side, and that's only going to hurt their situation. They're going to keep losing time to that 7. And their tires are not going to come in enough to run him down. .51 ripping the outside. And he's really good at running that wall. Most dirt racers usually are. You see it with Kyle Larson in real life, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick. I don't know if Reddick's a big dirt racer, but he can certainly rip the fence, and Bradley definitely can. I've seen him do it before as he gets the wall. Thanks, Bradley, for proving my point. I assure you, he's great at running the wall. He just made a little oopsie right there. That's going to move Kenny Frisbee up to second, but maybe not for long as Wolfenbarger's right on his back bumper. Wolfenbarger will clear into second. Slides right up in front of the 18. The 18 going to try to cross him back over. Go to the inside here into turn 3. Gonna slide it down under the bottom. And should be clear of the 32. He wants to slide up in front. And he does. 32 going to cross back over to the bottom. It's almost like a dirt race right here. Not quite a slide job. It's just using the bottom lane to turn a tighter corner and make up. And the 32 makes up a ton of time right there. He should have. Yeah, he'll have plenty of gap on that 18. I don't think the 18 is going to have enough to get back around him here. So Wolfbarger clearly up in the second. Kenny right behind him in third. Bradley Wilson making up time in fourth. Hayden Will rounding out our top five. You can see field behind this starting to spread out quite a bit. Off turn 2 here, you can see just how spread out the field is. There goes the leader. And then another 2.8 seconds to 32. A bunch of cars up here in the top 10. And then everybody else is pretty spread out from there on. We're not showing Brad Patton much because he is just so far out ahead of everybody else, but he is running really good lap times right now, even with burning his tires off at the start of this run. Just doing a great job at doing what he needs to do. Wolfbarger got up to second. And Hayden Lowell doing what he needs to do right now, and he's staying inside that top 5. Kenny Frisbee, I think he got the wall right there. That's going to allow Hayden Lowell to get to his inside. Hayden, good run through 1 and 2, and he'll definitely clear the 18 off turn 2. Now Hayden up inside the top 3. Blake Giglio, I think he kind of sat back to save tires, but I don't think those tires are really coming in for him at the moment. Now this is the point in the run where you will start to see those tires come in. Everybody that was saving tires, about 25 laps and on, is where those tires are really going to help him. Giglio, I mean, he passed like 3 cars there in 2 corners, so tires maybe starting to come in now. But when it comes to the leader of Brad Patton, he pushed him pretty hard to start this run, and he's still running faster lap times than a lot of people. .57.51 are really close right there. Some contact was made. I love the Miami Vice pink and blue right there on the 51 as a good-looking race car. Oh, contact! The 57 caught the back of the 51 somehow. Neither of them wrecked. Oh my goodness. I thought for sure both of those cars were going to spin right into the inside wall. It was a good save from both cars. Brad Patton is actually running faster lap times than a majority of the field right now. After burning those tires as much as he did. He's figured out something that these guys have not. Like, this is a butt whooping as it stands at the moment. This is when you'd expect the tires to start falling off, and they're really not. And this is most definitely, everybody else in the field is watching this right now. They saw he was able to drive away pushing those tires, and there wasn't really a penalty for it. So everybody's going to see that right now and say, hey, next run, after I take new tires, I'm just going to drive it hard the whole run. I'm going to try to stay with him or run him down. But that lead is so great at this point that they're really going to have to drive it hard themselves and hope for something to happen to be able to run him down. The only car that I've seen make the tires work, I would say, is the 16 of Giglio. He sat back pretty far, and now he's run down second and third and about to go around him. And if there's anybody in this field that can tire save, it's Blake Giglio. He's one of the best tire savers I've ever seen on the service. Even when you think there's no tire saving to be had, he can make it work. We go to the inside of Garrett Wolfenbarger. And he will clear into second off turn 4. Just like that, Giglio saved those tires, and now he's up to second. And there's still roughly 15 laps left on this fuel run. And, oh, Giglio is loose right there. He had to get way out of the gas. But dare I say, the leader's lap times, oh man, he is out of shape. So I might be eating my words there on the not having the tire safe thing, because he looks like he is struggling. On board with the 7 car here, as he tries to hold on with these older tires. Not older, just burnt. He burnt the tires off, trying to create this gap. And, well, I think he's paying for it now. Giglio made up 3/10 and a corner on him right there. See, he's waiting a very long time to get in the throttle. Lot smoother turn 4 right there. Giglio didn't make up nearly as much time. So we're definitely seeing tire wear play a factor now. We've gone far enough into the run. I mean, we are 35 laps into this run now, and that we're just now starting to see those real tire effects happening. And these guys are going to have to go through all of this once again after they pit. It's 2 pretty even runs to the end, depending on how they do it. Both runs are going to end up being about 45 laps. Like, Pat has figured it out, was able to get some lap time back in it. He's holding that gap at about 2.5 seconds. Battle for 7th, Ronnie Holmes to the inside of Kenny Frisbee. He's going to throw a little slider up in front of the 18. Kenny going to cross him back over. And it looks like the 50 and 20 have hung it up as well. Those two were not having fun. Dare I say, they threw a tantrum. Oh, man. Wolfenbarger and Hayden Lowell still battling for this 3rd spot. Actually side by side for it now, back to single file. Kenny Frisbee and now Casey Graves side by side. Kenny might be struggling on those burnt tires as well. He's up in the outside fence right there. He will fall back to 9th. Wolfmarger and Lowell. This is technically your battle for the points lead, but with Hayden being right there with him, Hayden's still got a really good lead on him. Pit stops, only about 10 laps away. Brad Patton's still holding on to a fairly big lead over the 16 of Giglio. Casey Graves looking to make another pass, this time to the inside of the 57. But Casey finding some late round speed. And we'll bring up really quick on the tower last pit laps for everybody. Most cars pit back on lap 32. It's like, I didn't cover it, but a lot of the field came down the top off, so. So you see, that was just how close they were on field. Frisbee's loose in the background right there. I thought he was a goner, but he was able to save it. So coming up about 40 green flag laps on everybody's tires. Ronnie Holmes, Casey Graves, still battling for that 7th spot. Kenny Frisbee calls out over the radio he will be pitting this time, so he'll be our first taker on pit road. I take that back. Brian Martin and Jeremy Scherer just came down, so those two going to take 4 tires and fuel. Now Kenny Frisbee coming down pit road. A clean entry for the 18. Brad Patton coming down pit road. I'm not sure if these guys are running on the gas or they think they can make it from here. We're sitting at about 54 laps to go. I don't know. 54 laps sounds like a lot to go on fuel. But Patton does come down right there. Comes down from the lead. I almost wonder if these guys were sitting so far back because they were saving fuel. See how it plays out. Giglio is loose on the bottom now. They're going to keep going. Man, they are so squirrely off of these corners right now. Off the back bumper of the 16. See, the car is just wiggling all over the place. Casey Graves was not able to get around the 57, so he's going to stay behind him. Looks like Lowell has pulled away from Wolfenbarger, and now he's closed in on the 16 and Giglio. Brad Patton about 2 seconds away from the leader to get his lap back here. Now, every lap he stays out, or every lap that these guys stay out, after he has pit, he's making up time, and he's building that gap even more. But I just cannot imagine he's good on fuel to the end of the race. The 32, Wolfenbarger, he's coming in this time. Then with the 51 of Wilson, 57 of Holmes, 69 of Nick Leo. See the 10 of Wyatt McCombs exiting pit road right there, so he came down last time. Unlike the 04 Garrett Warren coming down from the 3rd spot. Casey Graves comes in right behind him. Gonna leave Giglio and Lowell on the racetrack. They're gonna come down this time. So they're gonna split this right in half. Oh, Giglio! He's loose! He's spinning! And he does save it. I don't know if he got the barrels or not. Car looks clean. He's just going to lose time. Sketchy pit entry there for the 16. Got in a little too deep. Hayden just kind of had to avoid him there. He might have lost a little time, but not too much. That's going to leave Ian Montrose and Cliff Mullins out on the racetrack. Along with Dave Hoytsma. Nope, Dave Hoytsma's down here as well. So, 1 and the 37 are the only cars that have yet to pit. I'm just going to hope for a caution to come out here. And Mullins down this time. Montrose, the lone car that is yet to pit on this cycle. It says 51 laps since he came down pit road. I can't believe Blake saved that. He's going to come out about 3 seconds behind Hayden, which is not too bad, all things considered. Montrose stays out again. He's clutching. So that confirms it. I mean, they gotta be close on fuel here. He's clutching, and I imagine he's going to come down this time. That's 52 laps he was able to go, including caution laps. Unless he stays out again. We'll see here. This is really going to tell us how far Brad Patton is able to go. And Montrose is coming down, so even with 2 caution laps and clutching, he was able to make it 52 laps since he pit. Brad Patton came down with, I think, 54 to go. My math could be wrong. I could be remembering wrong. Who knows? I make mistakes a lot. However, I think quite a few of these cars are going to be very close on fuel. 32 at Wolfenbarger, he only came 3 laps after the 7 did. Kenny Frisbee, he came down, I think, the same lap. No, he came down a lap earlier than the 7 did. So if the 7 can't make it, the 18 definitely cannot. 54, Brian Martin, he came down 2 laps before the 7, along with the 91. It's going to be interesting here. See how this all plays out. But that does put Brad Patton out in the lead with a huge lead over everybody. Wolfenbarger with a little bit of a short pit on the 56 was able to pull out to about 2.5 seconds ahead of him. 56, about 2.5 seconds over Bradley Wilson. Kenny Frisbee inside the top 5. This has been a very long run. It's good to see. The yellow cone, so it is in the middle of pit entrance, but the actual pit entry actually goes to the inside wall. That's an iRacing thing. They're not very clear on that ever, but some tracks, if you go inside that yellow cone, you get a black flag. Some tracks you don't, and it's just, for some reason, iRacing just doesn't like to be consistent on that. So I guess at this track, if you go inside of it, it's perfectly fine. But I know it. I think like Old Daytona, if you go to the inside of it, you will get an unsafe pit entrance. But yeah, Hayden catching a lucky break there that this is not one of those racetracks that does that. like a battle for the fifth spot. Bradley Wilson. It's passed by the 04, it looks like. The 04 on 1 lap newer tires. Coming to 40 laps to go. Brad Patton with a huge lead over the field on that short pit, but again, I want to reiterate it. I don't think he can make it on gas. We'll ride on board with him here. He's not clutching. It doesn't seem like he's saving fuel. Either I'm reading this wrong, or he cannot make it. And it's going to take probably about 40 laps for us to figure that out. So right now, assuming he knows what he's doing, he's got the lead, and he's got a big lead. But I have a sneaking feeling that everybody else waited as long as they did for a very good reason. Right now, everybody pretty spread out. Battle for 4th is still pretty close. The 04 wants to get around that 18, but can't quite do it yet. So I think now is a good time out of any. Everybody's kind of spread out. Let's go to a crank it up for the final time this season. Enjoy. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Crank It Up, and oh my goodness, how about that timing? Caution is out on the racetrack. Third caution of the night with 31 laps to go. And Bradley Wilson is involved. See what happened. 57, Ronnie Holmes to the inside of the 51. 57 just kind of crowds the 51 into the wall. Not much more to it than that. Back it up on board with the 51. I think the 57 expected to clear him a lot more than he did. I don't think he even got clear in that instance, and now that's going to change this race completely. Instead of a long 50-lap run to the end, where Brad Patton, I think, wasn't good on gas along with a few others, now he can come down, take 4 and fuel with the lead. This is exactly what he wanted. And I can tell you this is exactly what Hayden Lowell did not want, because he had a nice long green flag run to the end where he could easily get that top 5 he needed to take home the championship, and now we have ourselves in a less than 30 lap dash to the end where tire saving will not matter. Brad Patton wins the race off pit road. Hayden Lowell barely gets second due to that first pit box. Back it up really quick. Not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. There it is. That's your gap right there from second to third. Man, it took me a while to get that, didn't it? Alright, so Llewellyn going to take a wave around here, get back on the lead lap. Brad Patton going to take the outside lane. Going to put Hayden Lowell to the inside, Garrett Warren. Wow, great job. Great camera angle there. Take a look at our points right now. Not too much different than how the race started in terms of that top 3. And looks like Blake Giglio has pulled it off the racetrack. Ronnie Holmes looks like race-ending damage for the 57. Brian Martin are 1 car, 1 lap down. So if we get another caution, he'll be in the lucky dog position. 15 cars on the lead lap. A lot of cars got lapped on that long run. Quite a few cars have got wrecked in our 3 cautions so far tonight. Here we go. Coming back to the green. Pace car pulls off. Brad Patton in control in the outside lane. Green flag back in the air. Three wide into turn 1. Wolfmarter to the inside of the 56. They're looking 4 wide. 51 not quite going to have the run to do it. Contact is made. 32.56. Somehow they lived through it. Caution is out once again. Brantley Bryant. Let's see what happened. 50, no, I'm sorry, the 2 just gets into the 91, it looks like, and carves on that inside wall. Right on board with him, see exactly what happened. So on the restart here, puts it in the fence and off the corner. Yeah, just kind of leans on the 91's quarter panel and then gets turned by the car on the inside. I think that was the 10 car of Wyatt McCombs. Looking at one more time from the chopper camera. '91 might have come down ever so slightly, but that's one of those things right there. That will put us under our 4th caution of the night. Back-to-back yellows here to end this race. Brian Martin does get that lucky dog I talked about. That'll be 16 cars on the lead lap. Let's get a word with our leader really quick if we can. Hey, Brad, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, you're out front. You got that caution, so back on even tires with everybody, too, but you lost your 8-second lead. How are we feeling right now?
Kind of pissed off. I mean, I was enjoying the Sunday cruise there. Thought I figured something out. But yeah, it was just in cruise mode. You know, I was trying to drive to the end there. Was going to make like a little pit stop, take like a splash of fuel, some rights, and then the caution came out, and I was like, well, there goes that lead. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, if you were good on gas to the end, and yeah, if you weren't.
No, I had 5 laps short.
That was going to be interesting. I would have liked to see that play out, and like you said, you figured something out. Hopefully you can make that work again here to the end of the race. Good luck.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Alright, so should be coming back to the green here. The one car that really got damaged in that was the 2 car. And he is back on the racetrack, although it doesn't look like it's driving too well. But he did not lose a lap. That car, oh wow, that steering looks mint. I'm sure nothing bad will happen if he restarts this race. Okay, Brad Patton once again elects to take the outside. He'll be in control of this restart on that outside lane. Green flag back in the air. Brad Patton with a good restart. He's going to take the 32 with him. Wolfmarter looked to the outside. Not quite enough there. Bradley Wilson fighting for that 3rd spot. The outside of Garrett Warren. They are 3 wide for 2nd. Wilson on the outside, Wolfmarter in the middle, and Warren on the bottom. Now Frisbee gets in the wall, allows Hayden Lowell to get to the inside. And they are really battling from 2nd on back, and that's exactly what Brad Patton wants to see in his mirror. Wants them to all fight it out. Well, he drives away again, and he's already doing that. He's about a half a second ahead of that 51. Now the 51 gets clear. They're 2 wide now. They're back to single file in the top 4. 32. Thought about looking to the inside. Didn't have enough. Kenny Frisbee gets in the outside wall again. That's the trouble with running the outside here at Homestead. If you trip up and you get the outside wall, get your car in it, right sides grab on, and you lose time instead of gaining it running that outside. 56 in front of him, that does exactly that. You can see he gets the wall, lost a lot of time. You see these guys getting in the wall, it looks like they're trying to do it because of how often they're doing it, but I can assure you it does not gain time to get in that outside wall in this car. Hayden going to once again lose the spot to Kenny Frisbee and fall back to 5th. And Brad Patton is not pulling away anymore. Finally, those second and third cars were able to clear and are now single file, and they can run as fast as they want. 20 laps to go in this race. 20 laps to go in the season. Do we see a thriller to end Season 9 here in Miami? Kenny Frisbee to the outside lane. He's going to get to the outside of Garrett Warren. Frisbee up to third. Now he gives a shove to the 51. That outside lane is ripping right now. They want to catch that 7. They got to either move up to the top or they got to mimic what he's doing. Because that 7 has figured something out. And nobody seems to be able to touch him right now. It's been a dominant performance all day from that 7 team. Frisbee looks to the inside of the 51. A little bit of a block thrown there. And Kenny Frisbee will clear into the second spot. Block made for third. Bradley Wilson, 56, I think had to get out of the gas right there. Take a look at our points. Hayden's just got to finish in this spot. There's nothing more to it than that. The top 5 for Hayden Lowell wins him the championship. Now, I am sure he wants to win that race as well as the championship. So he's going to fight hard to try to run down that 7. Right now, I don't think it's in the cards. I think it's more important to hold on to the positions he's got as he builds up a run, and he's going to go to the inside of the 51 into turn 3. Hayden Lowell will clear into the third spot. Now the 32 and 51 side by side for fourth. 51 back to the inside of the 56. Slide job into turn 1. And he knew it didn't have enough momentum on it. I thought for a second he was going to try to just park it in front of the 56, but he did think better of it. That's not Bradley's style. Oh man, they are getting dicey right here behind these two. Wolfenbarger clears into third. 56 looks back to the inside, a block from the 32. Well, the lead still stays a half second apart between the 7 and the 18. Those two Wanted Goons teammates out front right now. Hayden's got a lot to contend with right here. He's got to make sure he doesn't slip back, as these cars behind him are all right there. And they could take these spots away from him if he's not careful. $13 laps to go. Brad Patton now building that lead. Kenny Frisbee in second. Garrett Wolfenbarger third. We saw Kenny get his first win in his SRL career earlier this season in the Dirt Late Model Series. Can he back it up with a win here tonight in the next gen? 9/10 of a second separating the 7 and the 18. Another 6/10 back to the 32. And then everybody else under a blanket right behind them. Oh man, a block again from the 51. I think the 51's got a little bit of front end damage. That could be the paint scheme. But the front end, that bow tie looks pushed in a little bit. It could be an optical illusion or something. .56 ripping the fence. Gonna try to build up a run on the 51 again. He does. He will get to the inside into turn 3. And he's got a good run down into turn 3. He's about clear before he even got into the corner. And Hayden Lowell back into 4th. As Wolfenbarger, he's run down the 18 for 2nd. As Brantley Bryant, talked about him before the green came back out, that car is destroyed. So he is going to go 1 lap down. That damage is hurting him bad. But he's still in the top 15, so he brings it home in this spot. Oh my goodness, he gets in the way of the 32. That's a teammate right there. Now his car's pushing up to the wall. He's screaming over the radio, I can't turn. Everybody does get around him. I don't think the 32 got damage. It looked like he did. Oh, he did. A little bit of fender damage there for the 32. So, definitely not going to be happy with the teammate on that one. It could have been much worse. The car looks okay. There's probably minimal aero effects from that little bit of damage, but it is going to hurt. And everybody does get around the 2 cleanly for the most part. Brad Patton with a 1.7 second lead over Kenny Frisbee. Garrett Wolfenbarger about 3/10 behind Frisbee, and then Hayden Lowell about 4/10 behind the 32. 7 laps to go. Brad Patton looking to get his 2nd win of the season. And the caution is out. That is the 10 of Wyatt McCombs around in turn 1. And that changes everything. Brad Patton going to be absolutely fuming. How many times does he have to drive away just to get roped right back in with everybody else? Looks like 91 just comes up and turns the 10. And oh man, hard impact for the 10 right there. That's going to put us under our 5th caution of the night. And here is the question. Do you take tires? They have put 20-something laps of green flag racing on these tires. Do you come down and take 4? Do you come down and take 2? Or do you stay out? This is a huge call, and it is likely one that is going to screw the 7 of Brad Patton. I'm just being realistic. It's happened many times in iRacing. It's happened a lot of times in real life. These late race yellows after a long run. Brad Patton is staying out, and everybody else is coming down pit road. A few others stay out, but the majority of the field is coming down, and that is exactly what Brad Patton did not want to see. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's horrible luck for that 7. Horrible, horrible luck. I feel very, very horrible for him right now. I mean, he was so close. He's going to get his 2nd win of the season. He's been the fastest car all night by far. I mean, that's not circumstantial. He has just been dominant. As you see, Kenny Frisbee wins the race off pit road, followed by Hayden Lowell and Garrett Wolfenbarger. I'm sorry. I take that back. It would be, including the duels, it would be Brad Patton's 3rd win of the season. I don't know if you count dual wins or not, but he did win a duel at the start of the season. So top 2 stayed out here on 25-lap old tires. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all took 2 tires. And everybody else took 4. So here's your rundown. 1st and 2nd, no tires. 3rd through 6th, 2 tires. 7th through 15th, 4 tires. And with how loose this car can be, I think those 2 tires are going to be feeling rough. Especially on this restart. But we are 1 lap to green. This will be a natural green-white checkered. So no overtime finish. And this is going to be a... This could either be a really exciting and fun finish to end the season, or it could really tick me and a bunch of people off. But we're about to find out. We're a half a lap away from restarting with 2 laps to go. Brad Patton going to try to hold on with the old tires. I don't think it's impossible here. These tires have cooled down. If he can get a good restart and block like hell, he's got a shot at winning this thing, but he's going to need some stuff to go his way, because those older tires are going to be rough. Brad Patton in control on the inside lane. Here we go. The pace car is off. Through the restart zone they go. Green flag back in the air. Not a great restart for the 7. The outside lane stays with him. Hayden Lowe on the 2 tires. Going to try to use the outside lane. Kenny Frisbee also on 2 tires to the inside of the 37. 3 wide for 2nd. Down the backstretch they go. The 18's out of shape. The 1 dives to the inside. The 7 now has to defend on the 56 on the newer tires. Through 3 and 4 they go. White flag is out this time. If they make it there, the race is official. And down the front straightaway, white flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Olmsted. They're wrecking down the front straightaway. The 32's involved as well as several others. We stay green. The white flag is out. No cautions from this point on. The 56 using the outside lane. Down the backstretch they go. The 7 runs the bottom. The 56, he's got to throw a Hail Mary if he wants to win this race. To the inside. Gets to the 7. And a good run on the bottom. Through 3 and 4 they go. Brad Patton off the corner. Down the front straightaway. Can the 7 hold on at the start-finish line? Brad Patton wins by just that much. Really good finish from Homestead. And a championship win for the 56. So Brad Patton wins the race. Hayden Lowe with the championship here in Season 9. And a phenomenal finish, honestly. Brad Patton, the dominant car all night, gets the win. That's what you like to see. And Hayden Lowe, with no shenanigans going on, he's able to take home a 2nd place. We'll see if these two do... I mean, these two, they're not too fond of each other. We'll see if they do dual burnouts or not. I'm not sure, but here comes the 7. Got to do some burnouts, and our championship winner, Hayden Lowe.
Question to burnout.
Brad Patton. Jeez. Brad Patton is Lucas, got me.
I got you. I guess my last name is Pitton now.
Hey, now. Well, you did Patton there, and somehow you were able to hold on, man. That had to have been nerve-wracking for you.
Yeah. When I heard that everybody else was Pitton there, I was like, well, I just threw this race away. I wasn't thinking about it, but yeah, it was I mean, I had to drive my ass off there that last lap. Hayden had such a run coming into 3 there, and we had a teammate. Kenny was telling me that he was going low, and I was like, I can't fucking do it. I can't hold it. So it was pretty good, man. It was fun to finish like that.
That was very exciting. 15 thousandths between you two at the line. I was worried for you there. He had a good run down the front straightaway, but you did everything you needed to do there at the end of the race, and nice job on the win, man. You got anybody to shout out for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out Wanagoods.org. We got a win at my home track. I live down here right by Miami, so I gotta thank OG Gear, Maconi Setup Shop. I've got you. I got SRL. Gotta just everybody that's part of the Wanagoods organization and all of our sponsors and that. It's a blessing to actually bring one home for them at my home track, like I said. And I'm gonna give a big shout out to Hayden there. Congrats on the championship, well deserved. It was fun.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you talking to us. Thank you for racing all season, and congrats on the win to finish it out.
Thanks, buddy.
It was Brad Patton taking home the win here in the championship race. Now we'll get to work with our championship winner. Hey, Hayden, it's Lucas. You got me?
Hi, I got you, Lucas.
Hey, man. Well, championship winner. I'm sure there were a few scary moments for you. I certainly was scared for you, but you made it through these late race restarts, and you take home the second place and the championship. How are we feeling?
I feel a lot better if I was about 16 1,000ths faster at any point during this race. But it on one hand, championship feels absolutely awesome, Lucas. You've done an amazing job at making CTC, our Cup Series, feel like a premier, prestigious league within both CTC and SRL, and that I've been a part of at all. And to bring home a championship was really, really damn good. We were really good over these last 5 weeks. I knew the schedule played out real well for me. Knew it just needed a top 5. I took those came down pit road, took the 2 tires. Was kind of scared to see what kind of stuff was going to get thrown from everyone, just going for a win. And just put it on the fence and had a chance at Brad, but he defended into 3, and I kind of just put my hands in the air like, nope, I'm not. I got bigger picture, and then I saw him get loose, and I got deer in the headlights again. I'm like, but a win, but yeah, it feels really good to get the championship here, doing this little Polish victory lap, and we'll let this one sink in for a little bit.
Absolutely, man. It was a great season from you, and came up that short last season, and get it done this time around. You've done a great job all season, man. And got anybody you want to shout out for the second place in championship?
Yeah, Napa Auto Parts, Arc Music, C2X, Madigan Motorsports, Low Drag Esports, as always, you, Lucas, and Quinn Newton, 712Breaks, for putting on the Wednesday night CTC Cup Series League, 712Breaks CTC Cup Series League. And then everyone over at SRL that puts on the all the other leagues over there, the 8 leagues on 6 days of the week. All the big thanks to all the partners and sponsors and admin over there that make that work, and you for putting on the broadcast, everyone for coming out tonight. Shine raced aggressive, Brad especially throwing some blocks, got me frustrated, but ultimately in the end it was clean, and just super happy to bring her home and burn her down as a champion.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you talking to us. Thank you for racing all season, and congrats on the chip. See you next year.
Thank you very much, Lucas. I'll be there.
That was Hayden Lowell taking home second and the championship. Now we'll get a word with our third place finisher. Maybe. Oh, there he is. Hey, Bradley, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, well, taking home a third tonight. Still a strong run in the points. You're able to take home that second spot, so still a nice job to you. But a podium finish as well. You ran strong all night. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I kind of needed everything to work right for me in this race. Going in this race, I said that I was going to run with not a care in the world, and I'm going to try and get the win and do as best as I can, and, it just didn't come my way tonight.
Gotcha, man. Well, still a strong run from you. Appreciate you coming out all season. You got to shout out for the third place.
Yeah, Shana with Shine, Moon Car, K Designs for making my paints all season. Wolfie, Ryan, Brantley, all of them for coming out. The True Shine guys, Casey and Nick Cooper and all those guys. And yeah, it was fun racing. You for broadcasting this and putting it on all year. And hopefully we'll be back next season and we can run for it again.
Absolutely, man. Congrats on the 3rd place. Thanks for running all season. We'll see you next year.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
That was Bradley Wilson taking home 3rd tonight. Now we'll roll through our results. See our final chase standings unofficially up on the right side of the screen. So Hayden Lowell taking home the 1st, Bradley Wilson in 2nd, and Garrett Wolfenberger 3rd in the chase. Now we'll take a look at our race results. Brad Patton taking home the win. Hayden Lowell 2nd, Bradley Wilson 3rd, Garrett Warren 4th, Kenny Frisbee with the top 5, Nick Leo 6th, Dave Hoytsma 7th, Hell Yeah Dad, Brian Martin 8th, Jeremy Shearer 9th, Daniel Wellen 10th. Nice job, Daniel. Taking home top 10. Everybody, great job on the top 10, everybody. Don't want to single out Daniel, of course, but happy for him as well. Wyatt McCombs taking home an 11th. Good rebound there after the spin at the end. Cliff Mullins 12th. Casey Graves 13th. Ian Montrose 14th. Garrett Wolfenberger 15th. Got involved in that accident coming to the white flag, and unfortunately looks like he finished 1 lap down. Was not able to finish. So, tough break to end the season. Still, really strong season for that 32 team. They were definitely the one to beat, and playoffs just didn't go their way, unfortunately. So, want to send a big shout-out, regular season champion, 32, Garrett Wolfenberger. And he'll be back, I'm sure, next season to fight again for that championship. Brantley Bryant taking home a 16th, Blake Giglio 17th, Ronnie Holmes 18th, Ryan File 19th, Davis Greenwell running out our top 20, then Michael Christopher 21st, Brian Jackson 22nd, Christian Delgado 23rd, Quinn Newton 24th, Patrick O'Keefe 25th, and Nolan Walker, our final finisher, in 26th. Thank you all for watching tonight. I think that was a very, very good race to finish out the season. Definitely could have been a little cleaner, but it was certainly an exciting finish, especially for the win. 15,000 separating 1st and 2nd. And I hope we get that kind of racing again this next season. Stay tuned for that, but that is going to wrap up Season 9 of the CTC 712 Breaks Cup Series. I hope you all enjoyed this entire season. But I have been Lucas Hoytsma. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next season.